Hello there! Welcome to Math channel by Sir Carlo. So kahit na may pandemic tayong kinakarap, education should never stop, ika nga. And for today's video, ay i-discuss ko sa inyo kung ano nga ba yung nakapaloob sa Module 1 doon sa mga module na natanggap ninyo. So this is Math 7, Quarter 1. And the first lesson in Module 1 is all about set. Ang nilalaman ng video ito ay nakabase sa Most Essential Learning Competency or tinatawag ding MELC. And at the end of this video, you're about to illustrate well-defined sets, subsets, universal sets, null set, cardinality of set, union and intersection of set, and the difference of two sets, with the code M7-IA-1 up to 2. Kung mapapansin ninyo ay medyo madami-dami yung kailangan nating talakayin, at alam ko rin na marami ang nahirapan sa inyo sa pagsagot doon sa Module 1. Kaya naman, huwag na nating patagalin, tara at simulan na natin. Lesson 1 is all about sets. What is a set? A set may be thought as a collection of objects. It could be a well-defined set if it is possible to determine whether an object belongs to a given set or not. Sa madaling salita, ang set ay grupo ng mga bagay na kung saan ito ay pwedeng maging well-defined kapag madaling matukoy ang element kung ito nga ba'y kasali sa set o hindi. Sets could be well-defined set or not well-defined set. What is a well-defined set? It is a group of objects that shares a common characteristics having a precise and exact meaning of what is being asked or described. Ibig sabihin, ang well-defined set ay malinaw at eksakto ang tinutukoy nito. Halimbawa, set of vowels in the alphabet. Simula ng elementary tayo hanggang ngayon, ito ay binubuo ng A, E, I, O, O. Another example, set of barangays in the municipality of Rosario. Okay, ano-ano ba yung mga barangay na mayroon ang Rosario? Kahit sino yung tanungin mo ay pare-pareho yung kanilang mag-i. Ibig sabihin lang nito, ang well-defined set comprises exact and precise meaning what is being described or asked. Eksakto, malinaw at hindi nagbabago kahit sino pa yung tanungin. On the other hand, sets also could be a not well-defined set. So kung kanina well-defined, ano naman yung sinasabing not well-defined? Hindi daw well-defined. From the word alone, confusing. Ibig sabihin, nakakalito at pwedeng magbago depende sa isang tao. Halimbawa, set of beautiful girls in Rosario. Okay, alam naman natin na iba-iba yung pagpapakahulugan natin sa salitang beautiful o maganda. Halimbawa na lang, tanungin mo yung dalawang kaibigan. Yung isa mong kaibigan pwedeng magsabi na para sa kanya ang beautiful ay yung mabait. Yung isa mo namang kaibigan maaring magsabi na para sa kanya ang beautiful ay yung magaling kumanta at sumayaw. Sa dalawang kaibigan mo palang na tinanong ay nagkaroon na sila ng pagkakaiba ng sagot. Yan yung sinasabing not well-defined set. Kasi hindi klarado, hindi eksakto, kaya naman maaaring magbago depende sa pagkakaintindi ng isang tao. Sets also could be a not well-defined set. So what is a not well-defined set? It is a group of objects that has a confusing meaning of what is being described or asked. It may vary depending on the person's point of view. From the word alone, confusing meaning. Ibig sabihin, nakakalito at pwedeng magbago. Ito ay nakadepende sa opinion at pananaw ng isang tao. Halimbawa, set of beautiful girls in Rosario. Alam naman natin na bawat tao ay iba-iba ang pagpapakahulugan sa salitang beautiful o maganda. Kung halimbawa na lang ay tatanungin mo yung dalawang kaibigan kung para sa kanila ano ba yung beautiful. Yung isa mong kaibigan pwedeng magsabi na para sa kanya ang beautiful ay yung mabait. Yung isa mo namang kaibigan, para sa kanya ang beautiful ay yung maganda, yung magaling kumanta, at sumayaw. So sa dalawang palang kaibigan ay nagkaroon na sila ng magkaibang sagot. Kaya naman nakakalito kung ano ba talaga yung beautiful. Para mas maging malinaw ang pagkakaiba ng dalawa, ito pa ang mga ibang halimbawa. So sa well-defined muna natin simulan. So we have there number 1, set of Philippine President. So ang Philippine President ay permanente at hindi nagbabago. Ito ay nadaragdagan pero ito ay hindi nagbabago. So next is primary colors. So ang primary colors ay hindi nagbabago. Simula ng elementary hanggang ngayon, ang primary colors ay primary colors pa rin. Next is set of counting numbers from 1 to 10. So yung numbers from 1 to 10 ay hindi yan magbabago. Kahit sino yung tanungin natin ay magiging permanente yung kanilang magiging sagot. Another example is set of odd numbers. Yung odd numbers, ito yung mga number na pag i-divide natin sa 2 ay merong point yung answer. So ano na ba yung mga ito? So we have 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. So kahit sino yung tanungin mo, ay ganun pa rin yung magiging sagot nila. Dumako naman tayo sa not well-defined set. So ang una dyan, set of large numbers. So yung large na salita ay pwedeng mag-iba-iba depende sa pagkakaintindi or pananaw ng tao. Halimbawa ikaw, para sa'yo, yung 1 million, malaki na yun sa'yo. Pero yung sa iba, 10 million sa kanila yung malaki, di ba? So pwedeng mag-iba-iba depende sa opinion ng tao. So another is set of handsome boys. So handsome, para yung beautiful girls. Pwedeng mag-iba-iba depende sa opinion, depende sa pananaw ng tao. Kaya naman, not well-defined siya. The last example is set of nice people in your class. So yung nice, pwede ding mag-iba, depende yan sa pagkakakilala mo sa isang tao. So pwedeng mag-iba-iba yung sagot ng mga tao. Kaya naman, not well-defined siya. How to name and write a set? First, a set is represented by capital letter or big letter. Halimbawa, set A or set B, basta any letter from A to Z. Next, a set is composed of elements, and elements are usually represented by small letters, numbers, words, or representations of the members of a given set. So, pwede dito letter din, pero kailangan ay small letter. Pwede ding number, pwede ding mga salita, or anything that will represent the set. Next is braces. So, these are used to enclose the elements. So, ang braces ay ginagamit para mahiwalay ang set sa ibang set. Next is comma. So, ang set ay mayroong comma. Ano ba yung gamit ng comma? So, this is used to separate the elements from any other element para hindi sila magsama-sama. In writing a set, we often use ellipses. An ellipsis is just 3 dots. But these 3 dots means that the element of that set still continues up to the last element. For example, we have set A. And set A are the set of all the letters in the alphabet. So we have 26 letters in the alphabet. So instead of writing the 26 letters, we can use ellipses by making this. So napapansin niyo na 5 letra lang yung isinulat ko dito. Tapos gumamit tayo ng comma and then the ellipses or the 3 dots. So yung 3 dots na yan, ibig sabihin yan, meron pa yung mga element up to Z yan. Pero hindi na yan isinulat to save time and space. So ginagamit ang ellipses lalo na kung marami yung element na kailangang isulat. Another example, so obserbahan natin kung ifinalo ba nito on how to name and write a set. So, a set daw is represented by big letters. So meron siyang big letter which is A. And then, it is composed of elements, usually small letters. So meron tayong A, E, I, O, U or the vowels. And then, it is enclosed with braces. So, mayroon tayong brace na ginamit sa magkabilaan, di ba? Kung mapapansin niyo, ang brace ay ginagamit to enclose or to separate the set from any other set. Next is the comma. Ang gamit naman yung comma is to separate elements from any other element. Now, we move on to lesson 2. So, lesson 2 is all about subsets, universal sets, null sets, and cardinality of sets. Let's start first with subset. So what is a subset? When we define a set, and if we take pieces of that set, we can form what is called a subset. So a symbol used for subset is like a letter U with underline. So this simply means that subset is a small set in which the element of it is taken from a bigger set. So parang anak siya ng mother set. Halimbawa, yung parents natin yung mother set or the main set. At tayong mga anak ang subset. So anak ng main set or mother set ang subset. Para mas lalo tayong maliwanagan, here are some examples. So we have set A with the elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this set A is called the main set or the mother set. Now, if we are going to get what are the possible subsets or kukuha tayo ng subset with that mother set, the possible subsets are 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4. Pwede rin namang i-set. Okay, kung mapapansin ninyo, ang mga elements na andoon sa subset ay kinuha rin din doon sa mother set. Hindi ka lang pwedeng maglagay ng elements na wala doon sa mother set kasi hindi na siya magiging anak ng set na yan or magiging subset ng ating set. At palagi ninyong tandaan, according to the rule, that null set is always a subset of the set. Sa kahit anong set ay palaging mayroong anak or subset na walang lamang element or empty set. Okay, dumako naman tayo ngayon sa null set. What is a null set? So null set is an empty set, meaning it is a set that does not have an element. Walang laman, walang element. So a symbol for null set is like letter O na merong paslanting na guhit. So always remember that null set is always a subset of any set. Kaya nga na sinabi ko kanina, sa bawat element or sa kahit anong set ay palaging merong subset or anak na set na walang lamang element or empty set. Example, we have number 1, set T is the set of counting numbers between 1 and 2. So papansinin natin, meron pa bang number between 1 and 2? Diba wala? Kaya naman, null set siya kasi wala nang number between 1 and 2 or wala nang number na nasa gitna pa ng 1 and 2. Another example, do we have number 2? So set I is the set of months with 35 days. Meron bang buwan na merong 35 days? Sa pagkakaalam ko, ang pinakamaraming araw lang ay 31. Kaya naman, empty set siya kasi imposibleng magkaroon ng month na merong 35 days. Last example is, we have set M is the set of cars with 20 doors. Sa pagkakaalam ko, walang kotse na merong 20 yung pinto. So, bawat kotse ay meron lamang 4 na pinto. Pansinin natin na yung mga example ng null set ay imposibleng magkaroon. So, kapag ang set ay merong mga imposibleng bagay na magkaroon, so alam na natin na null set yun. What is cardinality of sets? When we talk about cardinality, we are referring to the number of elements in that set. Kapag cardinality pinag-uusapan, ito yung bilang ng element na mayroon ng isang set. Halimbawa, so we have, suppose set A is the vowels in the alphabet. So yung vowel ay A, E, I, O, O. So ilan ba sila lahat? So we have 5. So the cardinality of that set is 5 kasi nga 5 lang yung vowels. So in writing, cardinality, so we use N and then close and open parentheses, and inside the parentheses is the name of the set, which is A or set A, and then equal, and then the number of cardinality in that set, which is 5. This is called the cardinality of set A is 5. Now let us try to observe and examine the examples. So we have 4 sets. One is set A is equal to school days. So school days, ito yung mga araw na pumapasok tayo sa eskwela. So we have Monday to Friday. So bilangin natin yung element. Kung ilan yung element, yan yung ilalagay natin sa cardinality, which is 5. Kasi nga Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. At kung kukunin naman natin yung mga possible subset of this set, so nakadepende yan sa'yo, basta kailangan lang yung nai andyan sa ating main set. So pwedeng Monday lang, pwedeng Tuesday lang, pwede din namang Monday or Tuesday, pwedeng Tuesday lang, pwede ding empty set. Well-defined siya kasi permanente yung mga araw na pumapasok tayo sa eskwela. Hindi yan nagbabago. Susunod is set B is equal to man with 3 legs. Meron bang tao na 3 yung paa? Okay, wala. Kaya naman, imposible siya. Kung imposible, automatic null set. So, kung null set, empty set, so walang element, so none. Kung walang element, walang subset. At kung walang element, 0 yung cardinality. Okay, next is let number 3. C is equal to handsome boys. So, handsome boys and beautiful girls ay medyo pareho yung tinutukoy nila. So, magulo siya. So, kung posible na magkaroon ng handsome boys, so not well defined lang siya kasi posible siya. Yung null set, ito yung mga bagay na imposibleng magkaroon. Yung not well defined naman, pwede pero pwedeng mag-iba-iba. Kaya naman not well defined. So, yung element ay none kasi pwedeng mag-iba. Ganun din yung subset kasi walang element. At kung walang element, walang cardinality. Kaya naman yung cardinality ay 0. Now, let's move on to universal set. Universal set, it is the set that contains all the elements under consideration. And it is denoted by letter U. Sa madaling salita, si universal set ay gumagamit ng symbol na big letter U. And it is the set that contains a bigger number of elements. Siya yung masabi nating mother set or nanay na set. So under universal set, we can create or we can make many subsets kasi nga malaki yung tinutukoy niya. Okay, let's try to look at the example. So we have here, set U contains the set of whole numbers. So lahat ng whole numbers ay cover ng universal set base sa tinutukoy ng ating set. So it's either from 1 to 1,000 or 1 to 1 million. So lahat ng whole numbers cover niya. So diba pwede tayong makakreate ng many subsets kasi nga malaki yung tinutukoy ng universal set. Yan yung pagkakaiba niya sa ibang set. So let's move on to example number 2. So we have there, set U contains the set of all letters of the English alphabet. When we talk about letters of the English alphabet, so it is composed of 26 letters. It starts with letter A and ends with letter Z. So gumamit tayo dyan ng big letter U to represent universal set. At pansinin na 5 letra lang yung isinulat dyan. Kasi nga gumamit tayo ng ellipses. Ang ibig sabihin ng ellipses, so nag-end tayo dyan ng letter A, extended pa yan o mayroon pa yan up to letter Z. Hindi nga lang isinulat kasi nga medyo madami sila. So let's move on to example number 3. So we have there, set U contains the set of days of the week. Okay, di ba sa kalendaryo natin, meron lang tayong 7 araw. So it start with Sunday at natatapos ito sa Saturday. So yun yung universal set. Now we move on to the last lesson, which is lesson 3. Yay! So lesson 3 is all about union and intersection of sets and the difference of two sets. What is union of a set? It is simply combining the elements of 2 or more sets. The symbol used for union is like letter U. Yung pagkakaiba lang niya sa universal set, we use big letter U. Sa union naman, is like letter U pero mas maliit. Pag sinabing union, wala kang ibang gagawin kundi pagsasamahin mo lang yung element ng 2 o higit pang element. Pero yung element na magkatulad sa 2 o higit pang set ay isa lang yung kailangan nating ilista kasi nga magkatulad lang naman sila. Okay, para mas maliwanagan tayo, let us look with the first example. So we have there, if set A is equal to 1, 2, 3 and set B is equal to 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, then pag pinagsama natin yung element ng A, union B is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pansinin na yung set A at yung set B ay parehong may 1 at 2. So hindi natin kailangan isulat yung dalawang 1 at yung 1 at saka yung 1 ay magpareho lang naman sila. So isa lang yung kailangan natin. yun lang yung kailangan natin gawin sa union. Pag magkaparehong element, di na kailangang isulat yung dalawa. Isa lang to represent them. Another example, so we have number 2. Set A is equal to A, B, C, D, E. And set B are the vowels, which are A, E, I, O, U, or A, E, I, O, U. So if we're going to find the union between set A and set B, gaya nga ng sinabi ko kanina, pagsasamahin lang natin yung element ng dalawang set at yung magkaparehong element na makikita sa dalawang set ay isa lang yung ililista natin kasi nga magkatulad lang naman sila. So we have there A, B, C, D, E, I, O, U. So yung A naging isa na lang, pati din yung E naging isa na lang kasi nga magkatulad lang sila. So let's move on to example number 3. So we have there set A is equal to Monday to Friday, and set B is equal to Saturday and Sunday. Now, if we are going to find the union between set A and set B, so gaya nga ng sinabi ko kanina, pagsasamahin lang natin yung element ng set A at ng set B. Okay, so we have there Monday to Sunday. So mapapansin natin na walang magkatulad sa set A at set B, kaya naman isinulat natin lahat sila. Now we move on to intersection of a set. It is simply finding the common element or elements or the elements that can be found between two or more sets. The symbol used for union is, it's like big letter N or inverted letter U. Kung sa union, inililista lang natin yung mga element ng dalawang set. Sa intersection naman, hahanapin lang natin yung magkatulad na mayroon sa dalawang set. Okay, para mas maliwanagan tayo, let us look with examples. We have there number 1. If set A is equal to 1, 2, 3 and set B is equal to 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Now, if we are going to find the intersection between A and B, hahanapin lang natin yung magkatulad na element na makikita sa set A at saka sa set B. So we have there 1 and 2. Okay? Gaya ng sinabi ko kanina, di na kailangan nating isulat yung dalawang 1. Kasi nga, yung 1 at saka yung 1, pareho lang 1. So isa lang yung kailangan natin. Kaya naman, 1, 2 lang yung answer. Let us try to look at another example. We have number 2. If A is equal to A, B, C, D, E, and set B is equal to A, E, I, O, U, then A intersection B is equal to A and E. Okay, hanapin lang natin yung magkatulad na element na makikita sa set A at set B. So we have there A and E. So hindi na natin kailangang ilista yung dalawang letter A at yung dalawang letter E. So isa lang yung kailangan natin sa bawat isa to represent the intersection. Kasi nga, magkatulad lang naman sila. So we move on to example number 3. So we have there, if set A is equal to Monday to Friday, and set B is equal to Saturday and Sunday, then find the intersection of A and B. Kung hahanapin natin yung element na magkatulad sa dalawang set, ay wala tayong makikita. Kaya naman, null set siya or empty set. Kasi walang element na magkatulad sa set A at set B. So the last lesson in lesson 3 is the difference of two sets. So what does it mean? Ano bang ibig sabihin nito? So finding the difference between two sets is simply determining the elements that cannot be found in the set that you are comparing to. Ano daw yun? Okay, para mas maliwanagan tayo, let us look at the example. So we have there, suppose set A is equal to 1, 3, 5 and set B is equal to 2, 3, 4. When we take its difference, so A minus B, the result will be 1, 5. So paano ito nangyari? Pansinin na yung set A ay set B ay parehong may 3. If we are going to find the difference, kung babawasan natin, yung may babawas lang natin ay yung magkaparehong element. So yung matatanggal lang sa set A, universal set, base sa tinutukoy ng ating set. So it's either from 1 to 1,000 or 1 to 1 million. So lahat ng whole numbers cover niya. So diba pwede tayong makakreate ng many subsets kasi nga malaki yung tinutukoy ng universal set. Yan yung pagkakaiba niya sa ibang set. So let's move on to example number 2. So we have there, set U contains the set of all letters of the English alphabet. When we talk about letters of the English alphabet, so it is composed of 26 letters. It starts with letter A and ends with letter Z. So gumamit tayo dyan ng big letter U to represent universal set. At pansinin na 5 letra lang yung isinulat dyan. Kasi nga, gumamit tayo ng ellipses. Ang ibig sabihin ng ellipses, so nag-end tayo dyan ng letter A, extended pa yan o mayroon pa yan up to letter Z. Hindi nga lang isinulat kasi nga medyo madami sila. So let's move on to example number 3. So we have there, set U contains the set of days of the week. Okay, di ba sa kalendaryo natin, meron lang tayong 7 araw. So it start with Sunday at natatapos ito sa Saturday. So yun yung universal set. So yun lang tungkol sa aking topic. So thanks for watching. Sana ay may natutunan kayo. Hanggang sa muli nating pagkikita. This is Teacher Carlo signing out. Bye-bye!